Camping World Truck Series Racing on Speed is sponsored by Verizon Wireless. Get the inside track from Penske Racing, race analysis from our drivers, plus highlights and more on VCast. Again, 6 caution flags have flown today. I want to take a look at our Toyota top performers of the race. Kyle Busch out in front. Stacy Compton running 4th. Todd Bodine in the 5th spot. So 3 Toyotas in the top 5.
Great run for Stacy Compton, that 60 truck. He was very fast in practice. Didn't get the qualifying run in that he wanted, but looks like he has a pretty good truck here.
We'd almost expect that from a Virginia native.
He's always been good at this place.
It's Todd Bodine in that Whelen number 30.
I think he came here in '96 for the first time with Jim Harris's Cup car and qualified in the top 10.
Yeah, qualified 9th. I remember that day well, Phil, because very seldom did someone you never really heard of show up in a car you didn't know and do anything much. And he qualified in the top 10, and this place was a buzz about Stacy Compton and Jim Harris's car.
Another guy who's had a lot of success at this racetrack, Mike Skinner. Found victory lane a few times at this track. Tonight, tune into This Week in NASCAR with Steve Burns, Greg Biffle, and our own Michael Waltrip. The panel will recap Martinsville plus preview Texas, which includes profiling some unusual happenings that have taken place in the Lone Star State. Don't miss This Week in NASCAR tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, only on Speed. Now, don't speed getting back to the studios, Michael.
I'm all set. My GPS tells me I'll be there in 1 hour and 55 minutes.
Very good. Ricky Carmichael back on the track.
He just got the lucky dog, so he's back in shape after his after losing a lap because of that spin. So see how far he can fight back up through there.
Kyle Busch leading the field back to the green flag. James Buescher right behind him. 23-year-old Kyle Busch, 19-year-old James Buescher in front of this field.
I know Kyle Busch is 23, and we talk about it all the time, but it's hard to imagine that he's done what he's done at 23 years old. He has 46 wins among the 3 divisions, as we see David Starr having some problems up against the wall in that Zachary Toyota.
I think he's got a flat right front. The thing just went straight up into the fence. I don't know if he made some contact on that restart, but couldn't turn his truck when he got to turn 2.
As we talked about, it's just going to kill him too. This green flag pit stop.
See if we can see some contact that maybe cut his tire.
Into the wall there, right at the start-finish line.
That's actually he was the truck behind that. That was the 29 of Mikey Kyle.
Looked like he might have cut that tire when he hit Mikey Kyle, you think?
Yeah, well, Terry Cook did a nice job with his teammate of avoiding David Starr.
Again, coming to the start-finish line.
Right there.
Yeah, there was a contact.
It was Mikey Kyle into the wall right by our camera.
But David Starr is just going to really pay the penalty now, and more than likely will be 3 laps down when this all shakes out. He gets back off of pit road.
Adam Alexander, what's Kevin Harvick thinking about strategy of this race?
So far, Rick, what they have done is pit at lap 64 for tires, top off the fuel tank at lap 94. That is very similar to the strategy they had mapped out for the race here on Saturday. I talked to Ernie Cope, and he said, barring a real long green flag run, we do not plan to pit again. And as of lap 118, they needed 31 more laps of caution to be able to go the distance on fuel.
There's a good chance they're going to get 31.
Yeah, because we've already had some of those anyway. Yeah. So right now, Kyle Busch has opened up over a 1-second lead over James Buescher.
And James, you can see there's got some traffic behind him. Sauter right on his bumper, and then Hornaday. So he's holding that group up, Phil. He's got to be careful somehow get in the back of him.
Kyle Busch is checking out on the field right now, Krista.
Yeah, and they are also playing the fuel strategy game. They need a few more laps of caution also. Kyle getting on the radio and asking crew chief Doug George what the magic number is. Doug George said 60. That's what they need. By the way, way back, lap 64, Kyle had said the track is not working. It's gone crazy. He's the one going crazy out on the track right now.
Here in caution coming out for debris in turn 2. Again, that's where David Starr had ended up when he got into the wall with his right front tire being cut down.
Well, that's going to give Kyle Busch more caution laps, as well as Kevin Harvick. And remember now, Kevin Harvick talking about needing some more caution laps. He pitted almost 30 laps after Kyle Busch did.
There's that debris we were talking about. Safety crews will get out there and clean the track back off, and we'll go back to green flag racing. Again, you're watching the Camping World Truck Series on Speed. Camping World Truck Series racing on Speed is sponsored by New Shell Nitrogen Enriched Gasolines, by State Farm, where great coverage meets great rates, by the all-new 09 F-150. It's not just a new truck, it's a new F-150. And by Lowe's. For all your home improvement needs, Lowe's. Let's build something together.
You know, the strategies are being affected quite a lot by all the trucks that are on the lead lap, Phil. That's Norm Benning getting his free pass right now, and that makes 26 trucks on the lead lap.
Since we instituted the lucky dog, there's been an average of 23 trucks finish on the lead lap in this 250 lap race.
Green flag popped back out, and that enables Kyle Busch to jump back up to the front in front of Johnny Sauter. Johnny Sauter still a few laps down, 10-9 actually to be exact now.
Well, Kyle enjoys that 13 of Johnny Sauter, run a little interference for him, but it doesn't look like James Buescher in the 10 is able to maintain the pace. He wasn't able to maintain the pace before the caution came out that Kyle Busch can.
A year ago, that 33 of Ron Hornaday ran out of gas right at the end of the race. Well, they wanted to make sure that they weren't going to have that happen again. They came down pit road on this most recent caution.
Martinsville was the most interesting race for our championship battle last year. Running second with just on the last lap, Johnny Benson gets spun out, loses 100 points. Hornaday runs out of gas in the fall, loses about that many points. And what they do, it was one position difference down at Homestead when the season ended. But here played the biggest role of any track in the whole year
Definitely did. Let's find out a little bit more, Krista.
There was a lot of dissension down here in the 33 pit. They had planned to stay out on that caution. Rick Wren wanted to come in about lap 140 to 150, but Ron Hornaday, the driver, said, no, I am falling back. Kyle Busch is driving away. What are we going to do? Then the commitment was not made soon enough. Ron coming on the radio and saying, Rick, I've got to know sooner what you want me to do. So they did come in for those 4 tires, but there was a lot of arguing going on the 33